guys, welcome to another YouTube tutorial for the Making Beats for Fun series. Just having fun using Reason. This is another little beat I did called Walk on Sleep, 93 BPM. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, so again, pretty straightforward, using 4 instruments, using the re-drum, the NNXT sampler, Dr. Octorix, and the subtractor for the bass. Usually how I start, we'll do a file, new Reason track. I'll choose my default mastering suite, so I think I've chosen the hip-hop. And right click, choose a re-drum, and I've chosen the BPM 93, so you can just type it in. Yeah, so I've used my own hits, my own samples: kick, snare, hi-hat, cowbell, and a second snare as well. So this time I've done it at 32 steps instead of 16. So if we had to have our own kit loaded up, so this side over here is where you load up the kits, and over here is where you load up your individual samples. So just a few little tricks using the Reason, well, not really tricks, just stuff that you might miss out on. So with the re-drum, for instance, if I press run, if there's no samples selected or drawn in, you'll get no sound. So for instance, if I use a kick and I've just put it on 1 and 9, and I press run, it will run. But if I disable this little button here, it's not going to play anymore. So then you're wondering, how will you get the sound playing on your sequencer? So let's activate it again and press run. Just choose a snare. So as you can see, if I press run and that section is selected, it will play. If I disable it, it won't play anymore. So the other thing to do with the re-drum is to right click and say copy pattern to track, and it'll copy it. Let's double check. So it'll copy that pattern to the sequencer. So that's the other little trick if you want to not have it running in the re-drum. But if you have them both selected, then it's gonna play the re-drum and your sequencer, and you get like a echo effect. So make sure if you do copy a track to pattern, to disable that. And what else? Another little trick, that little button over here, the loop, if it's not selected, it will just run all the way to the end. So make sure just that little loop button is selected, and then when it gets to the end, it will replay again. Alright, so my little pattern, 32 steps instead of 16. I'll usually start off with my hi-hats. So let's just solo it, and you press run. So the first 16 steps, I've done it on 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 and 16. Different dynamic ranges, medium or soft, just to get a bit of a swing. So you're wondering what happens to the next 17 to 32 steps. Well, just this little button over here, move it up, and then again I've chosen my hi-hats on every other step, just different dynamic ranges. So you push it back down again, and then I've chosen a snare on the 5th and the 13th step, moving from the 17 to the 32. Just added it onto the 5th step of the second 17 and 32, and I left the one blank because I've just added a extra snare in there just to change it up a bit. So 32 steps, and then make sure you toggle between 1 and 16 and 17 and 32. And moving on to the kick. So pretty much the same, the first 1 to 16 steps on number 1, 7 and 8, and then the second from 17 to 32 on number 1, 7 and 8, and lastly just a cowbell just on the 4th hit of the first 16 steps. Yeah, so that's pretty much the drum beat using the redrum. So I have my enable pattern selection, but I've actually copied the track 2 pattern. So if I press play, it will do like a echo effect because it's playing the redrum and the pattern. So I'll just make sure I've disabled that over here. Okay, so that's the drum beat. So 8-bar loop, 93 BPM. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, kick, snare, hi-hat, cowbell, and a second snare as well, just to change it up a bit. And yeah, moving on to sample. So the sample was loaded up in Dr. Octarex. So walk on by sample. So if you chop it up in Reason, you can actually load it up and play it on the keyboard. So you probably know this sample as well from DJ Premier. Yeah, so it's pretty cool with Reason, some of the stuff you can do. This is my pattern that I've done. And when you add the drum beat to it, so it's just a sort of an R&B hip hop drum loop, drum beat with a sample. And then just in the background I've uploaded a subtractor, so right click, choose a subtractor, just a built-in bass sound called triangle sub. So just very simple. And the last instrument, using the NNXT. Just again something soft in the background, a built-in orchestra sound, motion synth. Alrighty, matey.